The summer before senior year was supposed to be perfect. Emily and Sarah had been inseparable since middle school, their friendship built on shared secrets, late-night talks, and an unbreakable bond, or so Emily thought. But sometimes the deepest wounds come not from enemies, but from those we trust the most. It all started subtly. Sarah began canceling their weekend plans more often, claiming she was busy with family obligations or schoolwork. Emily brushed it off, assuming Sarah needed space. But then came the whispers in the hallways, the stolen glances between Sarah and Jason, Emily's longtime boyfriend. At first, Emily refused to believe it. Sarah would never do something like that. They had a pact, friends before boys always. But as the weeks passed, the signs became harder to ignore. Jason grew distant, his phone always turned away when Emily was near. Sarah, once so open, now guarded her texts like state secrets. One evening, Emily's worst fears were confirmed. She arrived unannounced at Jason's house, hoping to surprise him with his favorite takeout after a rough exam week. But the surprise was hers instead. Through the living room window, she saw them, Sarah and Jason, laughing, their hands intertwined in a way that left no room for doubt. The world blurred. Emily stood frozen, her breath caught in her throat. She wanted to storm in, scream, demand answers, but she couldn't. Instead, she turned and walked away, her hands trembling so badly she almost dropped the food. The confrontation came the next day. Sarah denied it at first, feigning ignorance, but Emily had seen enough. "How could you?" she demanded, her voice shaking with hurt more than anger. Sarah's expression faltered. Then came the worst part, she didn't even look guilty. "It just happened," she said, as if that justified everything. "Jason was no better. We didn't mean to hurt you," he mumbled, eyes downcast. Emily laughed bitterly. "You didn't mean to. So what, it was an accident every time you snuck around behind my back?" No apology could undo the damage. The betrayal burned deep, a wound no amount of time could easily heal. But Emily wasn't going to let them break her. They weren't worth it. In the months that followed, she rebuilt herself piece by piece. She found new friends who valued loyalty, poured herself into her passions, and learned the hardest but most valuable lesson. Sometimes the people closest to you are the ones capable of the deepest betrayals. And when graduation came, Emily walked across the stage with her head held high, leaving Sarah and Jason in the past where they belonged. Because trust, once shattered, can never be fully repaired.